Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If there's one thing I love about Nintendo, it's the plethora of items and swag that you can get. And I found something that I very rarely ever see, and I want to talk about it on today's episode. So roll that intro.
So I want to start off by saying I don't know exactly how people were able to get these. It says Nintendo Power at the bottom, but I'm just not 100% sure if these came in like one of the magazines or it was a special mail away item. But this is one of the coolest things that I've came across, and you don't see them very often, and I couldn't find much information on them in general. That's why I don't know if they came in an issue or not. So I actually picked up two, but there's a reason that I picked up two, because they are the exact same. So I'm going to show the first one and then I'll show the second one later. Now these are called the Nintendo Info File, and one of the coolest items that I've came across recently. So I wanted to show you guys just a little bit about it. So when you open the first page here, this has the Nintendo Power Directory. So it has all the numbers here for different divisions in Nintendo. So if you want Nintendo Power subscription questions or to renew your subscription to Nintendo Power, you could call this number. And you could call this number right here if you actually wanted to, get back issues of Nintendo Power. The Game Counselor. And you could actually call them and they would give you tips on video games, which is super cool. And it says right here, for tips on how to play any NES or Game Boy game better, call this 1-800 number. And it says game counselors are on call from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or you can always just write a letter to Nintendo Power and they'll get back to you. Nowadays that would be called snail mail, but back then that was a normal way. There's just different ones, customer service. Here's if you want to enter your high score for NES Achievers. And here if you want to get a hold of classified information or the Players Poll Contest. Now this is a crazy thing right here. It's the TDD users. Now this is for people who are deaf. So they actually had an actual service that would accommodate for people that were deaf. Just so unique. That's the first page, but here is one of the coolest things I've seen. This is the NES Players Phone Directory. Now you gotta remember, this is back in the day before cell phones and everything that just held everybody's number in. But you could actually put his name and what games he owned. Isn't that super neat? Like nowadays, you wouldn't see anything like this. But back then, this was such a cool idea. I would have filled every single line out on this thing back in the day. It's so cool. So it just goes through and you can put all your friends and what games they own. I just thought that was such a cool idea. So when you get to the end here, the next section is make your wish list here so you know what to get the next time you're at a World of Nintendo store. Now, if you're asking, well, what the hell is a World of Nintendo store? These were actual, brick and mortar stores that they had to where you could go in there and you could get any Nintendo game you wanted. And they had a shit ton of like awesome Nintendo signage and just fantastic Nintendo swag that you could actually buy. Hats, shirts, backpacks, just anything you can imagine. And there's a little list here and it's like games I have to get. And it goes 1 through 10 and it says what date that I got it. So you can actually put like a little wish list here. I thought this was so cool. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna close the book and then you're gonna flip it over. Because on this side is one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. It's the Nintendo Gamekeeper. Now, when you open this page, it has personal data. So if you lose your book, somebody could actually return it to you. And you can put your name, your address, your, city, your state, your zip, and even your phone number. And one little thing here, it says your photo here. So you can actually, cut out a Polaroid of yourself and put it right there, which I thought was just super freaking cool. And this is one of the coolest things. Check this out. Look at this. So this is a section for a bunch of different NES games. And it says, as the new Totally Tough Batman, battle the clown prince of crime, the Joker. Now, you can actually write down just tons of information, like the day you started playing Batman. And there's actual challenges. This sounds crazy, but it's true. These were like achievements, because it says date achieved. So you reached the Axis chemical factory. And you can actually write what date that was. You can write when you defeated the electrocutioner. And you can actually write the date. And it has the emblem. And then down here, it actually has the personal game rating. 1 equals lame, 5 equals awesome. And it has 4 different categories: graphics, challenge, fun, and play control. Now, that is just so cool because, like I said, I would have filled all this stuff out back in the day. And I would have had this handy little book in my pocket. And it has tons of stuff for different games like Dragon Warrior. Look how many different achievements there are. It has the thing at the bottom to where you can actually, review and rate the game yourself. But it has Batman, Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy, Mega Man 2, Ninja Gaiden 2, Super Mario Brothers 2, and look at these cool, look at this. All the acts, all the levels in Super Mario Brothers 2 and the worlds. It's just so neat. Super Mario Brothers 3, all the different worlds, and you can write when you actually completed the game and what date it was. That is just so cool to me. Look at this one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The date I started it, someday in the 80s. The day I beat Shredder, absolutely never. But it's just one of those things that I thought was really freaking cool. And there's a couple more on here, like Tetris, Zelda 2. Now look at this. Reached the Parappa Palace. Found the hammer in Death Mountain. Like, these are little bitty achievements. This is like a precursor to, Xbox achievements and PlayStation trophy. This is what they had to do back in the day before it was all digital. And I just thought that was so cool, man. This is another cool section. It says keep track of other games you own with these pages. So you could actually write your own games and the dates you completed them and everything. Look at this. This is so cool. And there's a couple more pages here before it flips back to the other side that we already looked at. This thing is just super neat. If you ever run across these, definitely pick one up and try to keep it in good shape. It's a nice little conversation piece, but that's not the end of the video. I wanted to show you the other one that I got because this is actually mind-blowing. The Nintendo info file. So check this out. Somebody actually wrote in this. Now keep in mind, these probably came out in 1989 or 1990. So look at this. So this kid actually wrote in here. He didn't write nobody's name, but he wrote down the games that would fit for this letter of the alphabet. So he wrote, Bubble Bobble, Bionic Commando. These are probably games that he actually played. Isn't that super freaking cool? Ghosts and Goblins. And you can actually tell he added more at different times because there's 2 different colors of pin. He actually played Akari Warriors, but then he actually played Akari Warriors 2 and then 3. So to me, that is just such a cool thing. Some kid actually took the time to fill this out. And that's why I wanted to show you this one. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Oh man, just imagine him writing it in there. Can you imagine going back and just remembering the first time you played Mega Man 2 or Mega Man 3 or Metroid? And if you look here, he actually wrote a date, February 25th, 1991. That is so freaking cool, man. And then he played Ninja Gaiden, and then he added 2 and then 3. This is just stuff that I think is really neat, is seeing old original writing. Like, look at this. He added this in actual pencil, Shadowgate. And this is, I don't understand this, but it says X's, and it says the SpaghettiOs game. So I don't know if that's like a game that he made up or what, but you get to the net. Well, he actually has Zelda and then Zelda 2. Now it's make your wish list here so you know what to get the next time you're at a World of Nintendo store. And check out what he wrote. Games I have to get. Battletoad. And he wanted it in 1991. He wants Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, and guess when he wants it? He wants it tomorrow. And he wants Mega Man 3, and guess when he wants that? Next week. He wants Ultima 2, which is like not an obscure game, but a game that like I just wouldn't think would be on here. And he wants that the day after. So it's just super cool, man. I love this type of stuff. Hopefully you guys can see that. If not, I'll kind of bump it up a little bit, but check that out. When you flip it back to the other side, on the Gamekeeper side, check this out. He actually wrote in the personal data, name, alien, address, Earth, city, Venus, state, drunk. And it says stuck. And instead of the zip code, he put zipper. Phone number? Yes, I have one. You know, this is some kid. This is what kids would do. And I just think that is so cool that somebody actually took the time to write in this. And what's really cool is when you get to this section here, he actually reviewed some of the games. So Batman, I guess he never played it because he didn't review it. But he wrote that he finished Dragon Warrior. And the graphics were a 3, the challenge were a 3, fun was a 4, and play control was 3. He never played Final Fantasy, but he did play Mega Man 2 and he finished it. And he put the graphics, yeah, absolute perfect. The challenge, 2. I don't know about that. I think Mega Man 2 is kind of tough. And the other one's got a 5, obviously. Ninja Gaiden 2, finished. I'm not gonna lie, that's an impressive feat. Ninja Gaiden 2 is incredibly tough. And look at that, just fantastic rating. Super Mario Bros. 2, finished. And he actually messed up because he was like, you know what, this game's a 5 for fun. And he's like, maybe a 3, which I completely agree with. To me, Super Mario Bros. 2 is the weakest entry in the original trilogy. Super Mario Bros. 3, he finished that also. And look at that, 4, 3, 4. And he put play control as 5 and he changed it to 4. So maybe something, you know, he just remembered and he was like, you know what? That's actually a 4. And look at this. He beat Ninja Turtles. Now, I don't know if he just wrote this or this was actually real, but great rating. 4, 5. And he put the fun as a 3 and then he marked it out and put 5. So I think he, you know, realized that, you know, this game is actually pretty good. It gets a lot of hate, but I do love this game. He never played Tetris, but look at this. He left a sticker in here. And I think that's a sticker. 1989, Nintendo of America. And he wrote he finished Zelda 2. The graphics were a 4, challenge was a 3, which in my opinion, that should be a 5. And the fun was 3. So it wasn't really that hard, but it wasn't really that fun either, is what he's saying. And this one is one of the coolest pages in here. He wrote down Battletoads as the game pack. So he literally implemented Battletoads and he started it on June 30th, 1991. Now he actually writes every level in here when he completed it. Isn't that amazing? So he started on June 30th, 1991 and he completed it on July 23rd, 1991. And look at the rating, 5, 5, 5, and 4. Sorry this video is so long. I just wanted to showcase these because this is something right here, what you see right here, that will never be done again. If there is anything like this, it's gonna be just like achievements and trophies. They're all gonna be digital. Nobody's gonna carry around these little books right here. So thanks for taking a look at these with me. I wanted to buy 2, a mint condition one and one that was actually written in because there's so much nostalgia. Some kid took the time to write in this and that's just blows my mind. It's so cool to have this. I wish I could find the owner because I would happily give this back to him because this is a piece of his history. Whoever wrote that, I'm sure they would just love to have this. And hopefully today they're still into video games. Sorry for blabbering so long, but thanks for taking a look at these. And like I said, you can still pick these up if you guys want to get one, but I recommend you do. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you guys enjoyed these because I love showing them to you. Thanks everybody, and until next time, keep on reminiscing, baby.
Well, there you go. That's an awesome look at the Nintendo Gamekeeper. You know, these things are so cool and they don't come around very often. And when they do, they're either expensive or they're beat to shit. So I'm glad I'm able to get 2 of them to add to my collection. And if you guys have any memories of these, writing, filling them out, or actually just owning them, hell, if you're the actual person who used this one, please let me know who you are in the comment section below because I'll definitely send this out right to you because if it was me, I would love to have this back. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, keep on reminiscing, baby.